Hello, I'm Andrew, aka Quassi from Quassi's Bell Tower, and this is another episode of Point Rock Review. So for our first beer tonight, it's a collaboration between the company called Arrogant and Metallica. It's a collaboration between the two. This one is called Enter Night. It is a Pilsner. Usually when Arrogant Bastard does a beer or anything like that, it's usually like a really dark, heavy, alcoholic beer. And that's why they call it Arrogant Bastard or whatever else, because by the time you're done drinking it, you're feeling pretty good there. But anyways, I'm just trying to figure out the alcohol on this. I know it's on here. I don't have my glasses, as you can tell, so I'm having a hard time seeing certain fonts and certain things. But I know it's on here. The alcohol on this is 5.7, so it's a lot lower than their normal beers. So now there's a little story on here, so I will read it. It's on. It's time to get started. To crank things up. To get loud. That thumping you feel in your chest isn't your imagination, it's your heart. It's life. It's the rocking times. It's the inspiration wanting to break out. It ain't gonna sit there waiting. So motherfuckers, grab it. This is a collaboration in the truest sense between two entitles that were born on the fridge. We navigate life from a different perspective. We imagine things differently from what they were and set about using our arts to change the world according to our vision. We started being misunderstood by many and loved by few. Today this is the same, but the few have grown more, a lot more. That's you, my friend, and we are stoked you are with us on this journey. The day is winding down. It is time to get started. No more waiting. It's time to get loud. It's time to enter night. And of course, the font on there is the Metallica font, which makes it really cool. Like I said, the font on this is dark, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm having a hard time focusing and reading on some of these words. But yes, that is definitely a Pilsner. You can definitely tell. So this is going to be different than Arrogant's normal beers that they have. This looks really, really yummy. And it definitely fills this glass up to the top, and still with a little bit left. But it looks really nice. Nice and bubbly. Ooh, that smells like a Pilsner. That smells like a good beer, honestly. You can smell the hops in it, but it smells really good. So let's try this out and enter night. Oh, that's good Pilsner. That is really good. It's quite smooth. Like I said, you can definitely taste the hops in it. It's really good. It's not overpowering. It's not very hoppy. It tastes like a very good Pilsner. I think I could drink this without a problem. That's a good beer, guys. I think they actually hit the nail on the head. Head on the nail? But as you look at this can here, it's got speakers on the side. It's got like little lightning bolts. Looks like lightning bolts. I know it's supposed to be like sound bouncing out, but boom, they throw an M in there for Metallica, and they throw an A in there for the other part of Metallica. I really like the font they did on this. I'm glad they did the Metallica thing, you know, collaborating with Metallica. I wonder what Metallica thinks of this beer. So for our next beer is called Life and Limb. And this beer is actually brought to us by Sierra Nevada and Dogfish Head. It is a collaboration beer between the two. ale brewed with maple syrup and birch syrup, which that'll be interesting. We are proud to share our third version of Life and Limb with its thousands of other branches that collectively compress the craft brewing family tree. Sip slowly with friends and loved ones and savor long, because one could do better than a swig of branches, or birches, sorry. Life, the living brew, is naturally carbonated to enhance complex and refinement and to encourage aging. Live, from the birch and the maple trees, whose syrups give us this unique ale that flavors and symbolizes with collaboration between Sierra Nevada and Dogfish Head. The alcohol on this, guys, is 10.2. That's a high one. And Dogfish Head and Sierra Nevada, they've been, I don't know about Sierra Nevada completely, but I know Dogfish Head has had some alcohols that, they get up there here and there. They're pretty high too. It's a 16-ounce can. I can't wait to try this out because it's got maple in it. And I like beers that normally have maple in it. Right now, I can't quite smell much, but I forgot my glass, so I'll be right back. And I'm back. So let's try this out. Let's pour this out. Ooh, that is a really dark beer. I was hoping it would be if it has maple syrup and birch syrup in it. Let's try and see how much of this we can get in there. Not quite all of it. The foam thickened up quite a bit. Ooh, yeah. You can kind of smell the maples in there, the syrups in it. You can definitely tell this is going to be a dark beer. Possibly a very thick beer with how thick that foam is. Oof. So let's give it a try and see what it tastes like. Okay, that's just me getting through the foam. And I can already tell you, I can kind of taste the maple in it. You can definitely, it's going to tell it's going to be a heavy and possibly thick beer. So let's try this out again. Okay. You can taste the syrups in it, which are pretty good, but you can taste the alcohol in this. Kind of a weird combination between the two. Like I said, 10.2 alcohol. You can tell this is a thick beer. And I think they're right, it is definitely a sipping beer. You wouldn't drink a whole glass to yourself right away. Of course, I'm going to have to, but I think I'm just going to sip this one and enjoy it. Because I have a feeling if I down this, I'm going to regret it. And it's probably going to be heavy on the stomach. So I'm going to sit here and just sip this. But it's pretty good. It's got a nice, sweet maple taste to it. The alcohol is present, but it's not that bad. I'm sure if you drank this really fast and you were just taking big old swigs of it, you would taste nothing but alcohol and wouldn't actually get the good flavor of the maple and birch syrup in it. I totally agree with them that I would just sip this instead of chugging it or taking big swigs of it. You can tell it's going to be a heavy beer on the belly. But overall, that's pretty good. I've never had birch syrup before, so that's different. I don't know what else to say. I think they did a good job collaborating together. I don't know if Sierra Nevada's ever done like a birch or maple drink at all before. I know Dogfish has done their version of a maple beer, and it wasn't that bad. I still say Woodchuck makes the best maple beer, but that's because they're also a hard cider. Too bad they retired it, but if you want to go beer-wise, and you want it to go maple, I would say this one's probably at the top of the list for a beer with maple in it. So our first review tonight is the Enter Night. It's the collaboration of Stone Brewing, or if they change their name, I think it's the Arrogant Consortia. So there it is, Metallica's and Stone Brewing Company's Enter Night. God damn! I'm also going to put a link down to Metallica and the owners of Stone Brewing doing the talking about the Enter Night brew. It's a really good video, and I think you guys should check it out if you're a Metallica fan, and if you like the Stone drinks, I think you should check it out. I'm gonna go, since it's a Pilsner and it's not something else, and you know, Metallica helped out with it a little bit, but you know what? I'm gonna go with a 4 with this. I would definitely drink this again. I think it's definitely worth it. So if you like Metallica and you like Stone Brew, check that out, man. So our next beer is Life and Limb. This one is brought to us by Sierra Nevada and Dogfish Head. And if you actually look at the can, you get a close-up of it or not, I don't know. There is actually a shark in this one to let you know that, hey, Dogfish Head is collaborating with it. This is definitely a sipping beer, like they said. It is not a swigging beer. The alcohol is 10.2, which is very high, but not extremely high. I've had some higher ones. But it's, like they said, it's a sipping beer. When you try this, it's a very dark, heavy, thick beer in a way. I won't say extremely heavy or anything like that, but it's definitely a sipping one. You want to make sure you taste the maple, the syrup, and the birch syrup, and the beer that's in it. And it's actually really good. I think this is the first maple beer I've had that, I've had a couple maple beers that are actually beers, not ciders. And this one's pretty good. I did have the Dogfish Head's 75, I think it was called. It was their attempt at making their beer with influenced or infused with maple syrup. This one's pretty good. And I'm only going to give it a 3, and the only reason I'm going to give it a 3 is I'm not a sipper. I like to drink my beer. But it's good. It's definitely good. It's definitely up there. It's definitely one of those beers you should try. Maybe you'll think it's even higher, maybe you'll think it's lower, but I think it's pretty good, and it definitely meets the bar. And it's one of those beers you could definitely talk about and say, hey, you know, what beer's good, what one's unique and everything else. This is definitely a unique beer. So that's 2 beers, 2 reviews, and 2 more reasons to go Life and Limb and Enter Night. Until next time, guys. On this, it says Life. This living brew is naturally carbureted. On the side of here, it says Life. The living brew is naturally carbonated. Life. The living brew is naturally carbureted. I keep saying carbureted. Any of you local viewers that watch our channel, go check out Anacostia and check out their huge selection of beers. If you want something different than the norm, I would go there. So if you're ever in Rome, New York, go check out Anacostia. And tell them Point Rock Review sent you.